The Seattle Kraken just launched what might be their best jersey in Kraken history.
You are Locked On Kraken, your daily podcast on the Seattle Kraken, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Seattle hockey fans, welcome to another episode of Locked On Kraken, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We bring you your favorite team, the Seattle Kraken, every single day. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day, your midday listen, your late night listen. Either way, we are glad to have you. Erica L. Ayala here, your host of Locked On Kraken. I am an accredited media member for Milano Cortina, getting ready for the Olympics, which is wild because we're just about to fall, which means it's almost winter, which means it's almost the Olympics. And we've been talking about that and we'll continue to do so on the shows, the podcasts. Want to let you know today's episode of the Locked On Kraken podcast brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and you could win and earn $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. And we are going to talk about the third jersey. We have seen the Seattle Kraken teasing this. We're going to talk about it. They released it today. We are also going to talk a little bit about alternate jerseys throughout Kraken history. And then, we are expecting to have also someone who's going to help us here, has already been helping us with Locked On Kraken, join the show. But first order of business is actually not too long after the Seattle Kraken announced this jersey. We also heard that the Seattle Kraken acquired John Randall Avon from the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for Tucker Robertson. And if you look at Avon, 22 years old, 17 points, 10 assists, 7 goals with the Lehigh Valley team in the AHL. And in 2 AHL seasons with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, he has posted 35 points, 16 goals, and 19 assists over 125 regular season games. Also appeared in 3 Calder Cup playoff games in 2024, although he did not score. This is he signed, I should say, an entry-level contract with Philadelphia in 2021. He's from Ontario, has played for the Peterborough Petes in the OHL, 139 points in 179 regular season games. Robertson is also 22, has been with the Coachella Valley Firebirds, if you've been following our coverage for even Mavericks Monday. And of course, with the Firebirds, we've had him on the show. We've talked about him before. 19 points in 77 regular season games, appeared in 4 Calder Cup playoff games, did not score. Also from Toronto, or from Ontario. He's from Toronto, selected in Seattle in the 4th round in the 2022 NHL draft. So this is more so something that's happening at the AHL level than something that we expect to necessarily impact the NHL. So I'm sure we'll have time to break that down a little bit more. I want to hear from Locked On Flyers and Rachel Donner, who I work with on the Women's Hockey Report, about what she's thinking there. But I think the youth movement, we keep talking about it for the Seattle Kraken and what this season is going to look like. So, we'll see if some of the young players are gonna get some play. And we'll know soon enough, because rookie camp starts on the 11th. Then we have full camp with all players. We also got that announcement. We're actually going to break down the rosters on tomorrow's episode. So we'll do all of that. But today it's all about the jersey. I said it in the cold open. Is it the best jersey for the Seattle Kraken? And why is the answer probably yes? But we're going to have an expert who actually designed this jersey I'm wearing right now to break it all down. But first, here's the teaser video from the Seattle Kraken.
Stevenson right in the shot.
The Abyss Awakens. That's right. The Seattle Kraken have another jersey, and we have another contributor here at Locked On Kraken. You might have heard me talk about this person in passing, but now you'll get to see them on screen. It's the one and only Jordan Dabney, better known as Joe. How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me. Doing
Oh,
pretty okay.
I
The
love it.
jersey has excited me though, I can't lie.
Right? I feel like it's a solid jersey, but as I've mentioned, you designed this jersey, you designed my logo for Black Rosie Media. We're working together again in this capacity. So I figured not a better time to invite you on camera officially for this conversation. We know the Seattle Kraken has been teasing this, the Abyss Awakens, all of the depths, the deep, the sea, the mystery. Like that's the Kraken vibe here. So on vibes and kind of continuity first, Jordan, how do you see just the branding and the marketing around the logo reveal?
I think it was very well done, and I hate to sound like I'm overthinking it, but just theme alone, storytelling alone, beautiful. Like 10 out of 10, unbiased opinion, 10 out of 10.
For sure, for sure. And Joe, I've outlined it before, but not only have you designed things for me for women's hockey, but you have also done a Los Kraken
Oh,
design. You've
yeah.
designed for the Caps, you've designed for Black Girl Hockey Club, you've designed for the Erie Otters and the San Jose Sharks. So you know a thing or two about logo designs, especially when teams are trying to really be innovative and make a statement with their logos. So what, from your expert opinion, are the logos or is this Seattle Kraken jersey design trying to convey?
I think to start, their logo alone, like the Kraken S and the details, it's just so strong. Like it's hard to find other teams whose logos just really embrace their name and their vibe just so well. And the way they've done it and the way they've branded their whole identity, it's insane to say because it's just so hard to imagine how they really came to be. And seeing all the oceanic sea monster vibes they bring to like their games and their shirts and all their different things they have for fans and giveaways. Like, I hate to just say every single person on the staff is a genius, but like truly they are.
I mean, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. So let's hear what the Kraken are saying about this. Quote, when we set out to design a third jersey, we wanted to create something a bit more menacing and intense. That's Vice President of Brand Aaron Wigan talking about the jersey in the press release. He goes on to say, we drew our inspiration from the eerie shadows of the deep Pacific Northwest waters. The result is the franchise's first all-black kit. We like the all black. It includes an icy blue glow in the dark. Oof, that goes hard.
Oh,
It
I love that.
like what? Icy blue glow in the dark outline on the crest, a nod to the incredible bioluminescence, found in these waters. We're extremely proud of how it turned out, and we can't wait to see our players and fans in this new look. We'll talk about how fans can get in on the action. Jordan Eberle also has some quotes and is featured. Oh, what?
That
That
is
goes
just such
so
an
hard.
insane pick. That is
That's
so
so
cool.
yeah, it's so sick. Like, come on. This
And
is
then knowing that they start their games like with all the lights out and they have
yeah.
the like just seeing those jerseys, I already know it's gonna be so great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about this. I do think, I mean, even the coordinates, we've seen the Seattle Kraken do something like this before. But again, I think it's just really leaning into the spirit, the mystery, even right, of the Seattle Kraken. The featured design is stripes on the sleeve embodying sonar pings, which you can see here.
Which at
Uh,
first,
yeah,
I do want to say
we'll talk about it.
I'm a stripes hater. Like I usually don't really like stripes. Something about it, it's just it doesn't work for me.
I think that's fair.
But then when I saw it, like the specific pattern, the coloring, because I love how they keep the very bold red, very minimal but very cool, and then it doesn't glow as well. I changed my tune. Not to be wishy-washy, not to be a flip-flop, but seeing it and then seeing the reason behind it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a stripe tolerator now.
Tolerator. I can get with it. I also feel like, I mean, this is the stripe very up close. It's on the sleeve. We can see though that it's not in the other image that I showed here. It's not fully like it's not across the entire sweater,
Which
which
I
I
fear if it had been,
would be too much.
yeah, I would not like that.
Way
But
too much.
I do like it on the sleeves. I
Yeah, and
do
then
like
for
that
it
it's
to
not, the red isn't glowing as well.
yeah,
It's
I
a really
so
nice detail.
yeah, they talk about again this being a solar ping alluding to what lies deep under the water. So again, the nautical theme very much in that frame of reference here. I agree with you. Don't love stripes, and I think if you're going to do a stripe, the subtleness, the intentionality, and even like the we can see it especially here where you can see there's a gradient to it, right? But
Which I feel is very necessary because the numbers, the patches, the logo alone carry a lot, and it
yeah,
would kind of be like empty in those areas without it. I
right.
I think they did really well with the gradient and also not just putting it everywhere.
Yep, I agree. Inner collar lists the coordinates to Climate Pledge Arena. Again, we've talked about this. The Kraken have incorporated that a few different ways. Like the team's home and away uniforms, the jersey will feature the Muckleshoot Casino patch. That's the Muckleshoot tribe. And we continue to see that since season 2, really. That's been a mainstay here. You can see it here again, really see that that's also going to glow in the dark, which I think is cool. You can see the Captain C, it has the outlining of that glow in the dark, but not as prominent. Other things that they talk about is the black on black stitching so that the stitches themselves are super clean. I mean, come on. It allows the red to pop. It allows the accent blues to pop. So I think it's pretty solid. I think it's really, really solid. But we want to talk about this in comparison to other uniforms that we have seen for the Seattle Kraken. And we will do that as we continue on, Jordan, Dabney, and I, on today's episode of Locked on Kraken. And today's episode, as I mentioned at the top of the show, brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Now, the NFL season is almost here. It is football season for sure. And FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't miss offer. And that offer is that if you now go ahead and place your first bet, your first $5 bet, and that bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Now, people love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet, whether it's player props. We talk about futures bets a lot on Locked on Kraken, especially when Maddie Beniers won Rookie of the Year, or even jumping in as live action unfolds. Fans find all kinds of different ways to engage. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. Place your first $5 bet, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets. Thanks as always for making Locked on Kraken a part of your daily destination. We appreciate our everydayers, our OGers, especially over on YouTube. I mean, Jordan, we get so many awesome comments on YouTube. I know you're also helping us on social media. We're growing that, which is amazing. So we appreciate you engaging with us. And Joe and I, we had a meeting just a few days ago. We have another planning meeting, and I think we have some pretty good hashtag content planned for folks. Joe, you have been wonderful. Yeah,
Exciting news coming.
you've been wonderful in getting some really great ideas out there. And so I'm excited to see that once we both touch down in Seattle, how things will go. But let's continue on talking about these jerseys. Is it the best jersey ever? I think first we can talk about this by maybe talking about the worst jersey ever, and whether it's what we believe or the Athletic. We've talked about this before. The Athletic ranked worst jerseys in the NHL, including, yes, the Kraken. But before we do that, because some of this we've talked about before, Joe, but on the show, I should say. But since you are joining us here, and again, you have so much expertise, including in this fantastic design I'm wearing right now, of the Kraken jerseys. So they have their home blues, the away whites, we have the winter classic jersey, and the reverse retros, which on principle, I was like, first of all, how does a 2-year-old team have a retro
Honestly,
jersey? But also, what
I
does
talked about it
reverse
with
retro
everyone
even what does
because
reverse retro even mean?
how are you retroing? How are you throwing back if you're new? I understood why they didn't want to be left out, but technically it just made no sense to me.
And also, what does reverse retro mean? Like, because
Because
reverse
if
is like
wouldn't
opposite.
it be like reverse modern in technical terms? Like you're going back, you're doing a 180. But if you're
Exactly.
doing reverse retro, that sounds like a 360, which means you're staying where you.
Where you are.
But like, okay, like I get it, but like also,
But it
and
it
like
got yeah.
name wise, it does make sense.
Mm,
But
mm.
maybe that's me being too technical about it. But
I
I
don't
thought
know.
about the name. I don't
I
know.
never liked even the name, but
I
we
think it was
digress.
nice to say. I still do miss saying, man, when's the next reverse retro? But like when I sit and think about it, I'm like, that does not make sense to me.
It
It
does
doesn't
no,
make
it
sense
doesn't
to
make
me.
sense.
I don't
Uh,
know.
okay, so you know the Kraken jerseys. Which is your favorite? Which has been your least favorite over the years?
My least favorite, gonna start by putting the negativity out there, is the Winter Classic jersey. I've already established I really
Ooh.
hate stripes. I don't know what it is with stripes. Is don't do it for me. The colors, the whole theme. I was really into it, and then I saw the stripes, and I was not as into it.
Wow. Okay.
And I know lots of people loved it too, and I was like, maybe it's like one of those things that you have to warm up to. Maybe it's one of those ones I just need to like really sit with. It wasn't. I'm so sorry.
I mean, that's legit. I mean, your answer is your answer, right?
The
So
colors, I really love the colors, if that's like any consolation. The colors beautiful.
yeah. See, now the reverse retro is my least favorite.
Really?
I could never stand that jersey. Like not even close.
Not even on principle
I
for a
no,
team.
and you talk about
Okay.
stripes. You talk about stripes. First of all, these are meaningless stripes. I feel like they were trying to be like Seattle Metropolitans, but not because they wanted to maybe have the Winter Classic jersey be what it
Which
was. We talked about that a
I
lot on
definitely
the show at the
okay.
time.
I definitely see I don't know. Them in the stripes. And maybe this is me like unpacking something, but I want to see less stripes and maybe I will like more.
Yeah.
Because if we're going for my favorite, I think their home jersey is tied with this third jersey. Like it's
Ooh.
timeless, it's beautiful. I love it. Every time
Yeah.
I see it, I'm like, that's a great
Just
jersey.
for this is not the home jersey that Joe's
No,
talking about right now.
the
This is the
home,
reverse retro jersey.
yes.
And the Ollie, how I miss him. How I miss the maestro. But I just like you talk about stripes, like what's going on at the bottom here and why? Why do we have a two tone where the logo is? I just was like, these are meh, you know? But to go to the jersey that you liked the least, let me pull it up. Also, I'm seeing the first ever indigenous peoples jersey also come up in this little thread that I have open here. That
I also
one
think
went
too that like
freaking hard.
their theme night jersey, their specialty jerseys,
So
they
good.
rarely ever miss. Like they're
It's
so good.
true.
I
It's
think
true.
their first, maybe it was Women's History Month, and it had something to do with like butterflies, if I'm not mistaken. It was
Yes.
so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Which
Yes.
really cements how much I hate the Winter Classic jersey because you don't have to do the
This is the
stripes.
one.
Why
This
are we
is the one
married
you
to the
don't like.
stripes?
So I'll tell you why Seattle folks like this because it's the closest to the Seattle Metropolitans, which actually got the Kraken in some trouble. We talked about that on the show before. So I
Mm-hmm.
understood what they were going for there. I felt that if they were going to do that, maybe incorporate a little bit of green because then it really goes reverse retro, right? Um, But I wasn't mad about this. I could have done without the stripes, but I feel like this one just was like we didn't know if we wanted to stripe it out or not. Whereas this one was like we're committed, and I feel like there's even continuity. And this is an OG design, so I understood where they were going for what they were going for there. That being said, the OG jerseys, whether it's the away whites, just sometimes those are so crisp that I love it. But I'm with you. The home jersey is my favorite. That's the one that I have. I didn't wear that one today, but
It's
yeah.
that's actually like, not to be too much of a fan while we're in Seattle, but I'm looking forward to getting the home jersey while I'm there.
Yeah,
Like,
well, are you gonna, I'm sure you might get a good deal because when we are in Seattle and when everyone else has access to these is right around the time that we will be there because we've got rookie camp coming up, we've got the full training camp coming up, and these jerseys, because of the glow in the dark element as well, from the press release, it sounds like, Joe, we're going to, or fans are going to have the opportunity to really get in on the action when it comes to the theatrics of it all. So we want to talk
oh,
about that. But coming up next on Locked On Kraken, we have to also talk about the practicality of these jerseys. And what do I mean by that? But what is the record going to be like in these jerseys? The truth of the matter is right now we don't know. And the Seattle Kraken have not had the best of luck when it comes to the reverse retro or even the Winter Classic jersey post Winter Classic. And so are we going to have a better record in these? We'll tell you the dates that these new jerseys will be worn. That's coming up on today's episode of Locked On Kraken. Today's episode of Locked On Kraken also brought to you by our friends at Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch Money is built for people with busy lives. I can attest to that. I've been using Monarch Money for a little while. And if you don't like organizing your finances, which I have not enjoyed in the past, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting. You can link all of your accounts in minutes, see clear data visualizations, which I love checking out over at Monarch Money, especially the cash flow data chart. You can also get smart categorization of your spending and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet because your girl's not good at that. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 50% off your first year. That's right. You can go to monarchmoney.com in your browser. And if you use promo code LOCKEDONNHL, you will get half off your first year. So go check it out over at monarchmoney.com. Thanks as always for making Locked On Kraken a part of your daily destination. I should say that this is the last week that we will be 3 days a week, and then we are back to our regularly scheduled program where we have 5 episodes, 1 per day, ideally in a perfect world, maybe some bonus stuff while Joe and I are in Seattle, but we'll get to that.
fingers crossed.
Exactly. In coming episodes, we have some fun hashtag content planned for you. So is this the best alternative or alternate jersey? I think we kind of already answered that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, without
Now,
a doubt.
is it the best overall? You alluded to this, but let's stay there for a minute, Joe.
I've established I really, really hate stripes, but I really love an all black jersey.
Me too.
Something about it when they're on the ice just pops. It looks so good. And the
I agree.
details they have here, it's just like a glow in the dark jersey. That's insane. That's so good. That's so genius. And it
I agree.
looks good.
I agree with
I
you.
feel like there were a lot of ways they could have messed that up. They could have, I don't even want to speculate. It just looks really good. It looks crisp.
I agree. I will say, and we've seen this in Reddit forums and other places, I think a lot of people were thinking if we're going to get an alternate or a third jersey, why not give some love to the anchor, the secondary logo? But I don't know.
I assumed.
Right?
That's what I assumed as well.
Yeah, right? So is this a thing, like, again, from your design experience, How much have you, when you've been commissioned to do jerseys, have you felt beholden to the primary logo being the main crest versus working in and integrating maybe secondary logos for teams? Because maybe it's a technical thing, right?
That's actually really hilarious because that's always the first question I ask. I'm like, are you married to this logo? Are you married to this element? And then they usually say no, but it's tied to their identity. So I understand why they went with the S, the Kraken technical here, but like tentacle, excuse me. But I like the anchor. I
I
think
like
it could
the
look
anchor
cool with the
too.
anchor.
I like the anchor too. And I mean, you've
I'm not sure, like,
incorporated, I just want to show people, I always love giving Joe
this
her
is
shine.
actually the one where I asked. I wanted to use a thresher shark for the main logo, but I was like, that doesn't take up enough space. So I was like, I'll do a hammerhead and a thresher because that's my favorite shark. They're the sharks.
Ah,
And they were like, yeah. No one ever asked. I was like, oh, okay, great.
I love it.
We're gonna do it.
And there you are, dropping the freaking puck center ice. That must have been awesome.
Yeah. Which this reminds me of like how I'm imagining the Kraken game will be with this jersey because like the way the ice sits when you're
That's
down
right,
there and it
Tim. We
looks
will always
so
give Joe her
dark.
flowers. That's right. I love it.
Like it looks so it's hard to explain it. Like it just looks so surreal when you're down there and the jerseys look darker when you're on the ice. But then you're looking up and you see everyone has their cameras, the lights in the stands. Like I'm imagining the glowing jerseys. That's gonna look so cool. Like
So
someone's
sick.
gonna have the most insane picture ever. I'm gonna wish I was the one that got to
For
take a
sure.
picture.
Yeah. I mean, here goes the jersey. This one is this. You talk about black jerseys, man. So
That
the
one is my
Kraken have
favorite.
it is. I was going to ask you, what's your
It
favorite?
absolutely is my favorite, hands down. My
Oh
favorite.
my gosh!
Like
Like
it
this
just
goes so hard.
it pops like a black jersey. It's just
I love this. I love also like. I mean, this is not a Locked on Flames podcast, but like the red, you know this about me, Joe. A red, orange,
a
red to
orangey red
orange
piece.
to yellow.
Like it
Like
just
I love the flame, the fire of
an
it all.
ombre just it goes
An
so well.
ombre, exactly. Here's the Erie Otters one. This was for Black History Month, as is the one that I'm wearing, the black rosy jersey that you
Yeah.
designed. I loved this one, and I thought we were going to be able to work together on this one. It just didn't work out. Well, I should
I'm
say,
actually
not
that's
that I
probably
was
the
not
most
going to design.
surprising
Let me
one.
clear that up. I wasn't going to design the jersey, but I was trying to, at the same time that you did, in the same year that you did this, I was trying to connect with the Otters on some other stuff. It just didn't work out, but I'm glad that like this was so sick. I remember watching these in action and I was like, heck yeah, Joe. Like that's so
That was
awesome.
actually like if the Oshawa Generals is my favorite jersey, this was probably my favorite game. Like just seeing it. And I've seen it for other games and for other teams, but I think I don't know. It's different when you're a fan of the team first. Like for all these
That's
other
true.
teams, I was like, I'm aware of you. But this team, I was like, I was a fan. I was like, wow, I can't believe they won it.
That's it. There's the black rosy that I'm wearing.
That's my baby. Like
Kim,
that's
yeah, I know.
my
We
child.
we did get to collaborate on this one. I was kind of
This was
doing
like
more behind the scenes
this
stuff.
is actually how we met, and this is
I
our
know.
history, literally.
Right. So we officially met for this, but you've worked with Black Girl Hockey Club. And of
Yeah.
course, you did my Black Rosie. There's the Los Kraken that we were talking about. I love
Yes.
this one. I love it. And, you
If
know,
I'm not mistaken, it was for I think I did it right before Day of the Dead. And I asked, like, do you want a special like it wasn't even something that they like offered. I was like, I think this would be super cool. And I know they do all their broadcasts in Spanish. And I was like, I would love to. I would be honored.
yeah,
And
that
then
was,
they loved it. And I was like, oh.
I love it. But I mean, if I have to, I think you know where I'm going with this. My favorite is
Yes.
this Black Rosie
I cannot
2021. We've been
wait.
working together since 2021.
Which
That's
feels
wild.
like I don't know. I feel like we haven't gone that long. It feels like it was just yesterday.
It does feel like it was just
But I
yesterday.
can't wait to move her up and update her when we get all our Milan Cortino stuff.
Yes,
She's
that's
gonna get a whole
right.
spread. I'm so excited.
She's got an upgrade. We got that in the books.
We
So
do.
okay. So now let's talk about again the practicality. Because you know what they say, like look good, feel good. Well, in this case, play good, right? That
Fingers
hasn't
crossed again.
fingers. Well, that's the thing. And Kraken fans know this. We even had, I believe it was Jenna. I read her comment on one of our episodes the other day, but Jenna was like, listen, we know what that post, you know, Winter Classic jersey did for us. The reverse retro, they were 0-3. There are, articles on the interweb saying that the reason Adidas canceled their reverse retro was because the Kraken played so terribly bad in them that they were like, no, we're never doing this again. Now, is that real? I feel like it might be a stretch, like if I'm using my logical, not host of Locked On Kraken brain, but as my Locked On Kraken brain, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely why. They canceled the
I feel
entire
like
commission.
I have to agree because I'm a bit superstitious, and if you keep getting like these beautiful jerseys and you keep not winning, maybe in some way
Right,
there's a little
maybe it's
correlation.
you, right? As the saying
Like,
goes, maybe
but I
it's you.
also don't want to toss it up out there. Like maybe they should stop doing jerseys because they do so well when
Well,
they
they're
don't
not
have
going to stop.
stripes.
We know they're not going
Right,
to stop,
right.
right?
But like,
So, but
I think
maybe
this is
just
their
reverse
chance.
retro.
This is their comeback moment.
Come
Okay,
back.
this is their moment to solidify all the Redditors, the commenters. This is our time.
This is
that
our
we can
time.
win.
I'm
And
with
a
it.
good jersey that's not our home jersey.
I'm with it. And, reverse retro, they were 0-3 in the reverse
Which
retro. I mean, could be worse.
there are a lot of factors that played into them not winning in the reverse retro.
Mm.
Not to sound too Kraken-pilled, too Kraken-coded, extremely biased, but I think there's a good chance that there will be some wins in these really beautiful glow-in-the-dark jerseys.
You're
And
feeling
maybe
it.
even after the wins, they'll dim the lights and everyone can just glow in the dark together or something. I
Well,
don't know.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because we've been teasing this, and that is the plan. So if you go
You're
to
joking.
yes, if you go to the abyssawakens.com, which we're going to show here on the screen. So they have a whole website dedicated, Own the Abyss. We'll talk about, look at that, September 5th, 9 a.m. So that's tomorrow, for season ticket member pre-sale, September 11th, public pre-sale, and then jerseys are available in store and online pending availability. So if everyone in the pre-sale locks them up, then the resale market's going to go crazy.
I feel
But
like they should give us special access because we're speaking faith and belief into them.
I agree.
Like, we're saying that they can win, and that's why we deserve to glow in the dark with them.
Oh my gosh, stealth mode crest is just, that's insane. That goes so hard. But here's their on ice schedule. So 11 electrifying home games as the Kraken unleash their all black third kit. So it starts with the Rangers. They will be playing the Sharks. They are going to be taking on Dallas, Minnesota, Vancouver, Boston, Anaheim, New Jersey, St. Louis, Colorado, and the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm looking on another screen here because the one thing that I want to be able to cross-reference is how many of these games are also back-to-back games. Kraken fans, unfortunately, we have had to talk a lot about back-to-back games, how we are terrible in back-to-back games, 0-12 last year alone. And so gravy boat night. Listen, Tim, gravy boat. I know I've talked about this on the show before. When I saw that there's a gravy boat night as one of the giveaways, I was like, you stop it right now.
Every time a team does a gravy boat night, I'm convinced that I should just like dawn on that whole thing. Like, I have to pretend to be a fan because the gravy boat Zambonis are like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So cool.
And I would like to imagine that they're going to have them match the jerseys perfectly. If that's not a win, we're going to have some words, like very serious words.
I hear you. So I wanted to cross-reference, and are any of these games where they are wearing these Abyss Awakens, are any of these back-to-back games? None of them in November are. Let's see, December, the Seattle Kraken only have they have two back-to-backs. One is away though, and then the 28th and the 29th of December. So the Vancouver game is on one of the back-to-backs, and not only is it on one of the back-to-backs, it's the second night of a back-to-back. And that's a little tough because we're 0-2 on night 2 of a back-to-back last year alone, but there's the consecutive record is actually longer. I'm a little worried about that. So that Vancouver game might throw the averages off, Joe.
I again, still speaking in their favor, I feel like they've really spoken about how they're trying to learn from their mistakes from last season. Like, logically thinking here, they have said, their back-to-backs weren't the best. Their finishing wasn't the best. Their offensive play wasn't as consistent as they like to imagine it could be. And adding that to the jersey conversation, I'd like to think that they don't want to see their fans disappointed on the cool jersey night,
The
on a
cool
cool
jersey
theme
night.
night. Not saying they're gonna magically, I don't know, become like, I don't even know what word you would use here. I don't want to say they're losing. I don't want to say they're winning all of them. I do think that they have a chance, though.
They have a chance. And,
Not even like mythically, spiritually speaking, I wholeheartedly believe that they have a chance. These games, I think so.
I think so too. Boston is another one, and then they'll be on an away home back to back. So Boston is the second game as well, and then let's see for February. Well, we know February is just a weird month because of the Olympics. The
Yes.
Kraken do have some back to backs in February, but they are away games, so that won't factor into this particular thing here. Then we look at March 3rd and 12th. So the 4th and the 12th. The 4th and the 12th, we're good there, not back to backs. And then we close out on 4/9, April 9th with Vegas. And that one also not a back to back, though the Kraken do have. So there's two, the Vancouver and the Boston games. Not only are they part of back to backs, but they're the second game of the back to back. But this is where, Joe, what you're saying, I think, is where Kraken fans, they're going to lean into this, because with the release and the design, what we know is that fans who have these jerseys are expected to participate here a little bit. On featured nights, this is from the press release, fans wearing their jersey will play their part in the game presentation with the glow-in-the-dark elements. So if you don't already have tickets to see the Kraken, look at that. I love how they show the
This
glow-in-the-dark
is
element.
so.
It's so well done. Well done. Bravo.
I
Bravo.
think Seattle sports does a really good job at including the fans in everything beyond watching. And
I would agree.
that's honestly making me really excited for when we're in Seattle. And of course, we won't be fans, we'll technically be media members, but
We will be.
seeing how it comes to be is so exciting. Like,
Yeah. And I see here on theabyssawakens.com, they're teasing a little bit, right? With this, it's dark and now it's bright, and now it's dark and now it's bright. So I wonder what the activation, because as you mentioned, the Seattle Kraken, they definitely put on a show. But fans, these are, you have the dates. This is your chance. And we know when the pre-sale is. This is your chance. If you want to be a part of the pregame show, these are the dates to do it. I would say bring some extra juju on December 29th and January 6th. Yep.
honestly,
Definitely need some good
yeah,
energy on
yeah.
January 6th. But I think that only time will tell. Only time will tell if this is going to be the good luck jersey. I really hope it is, because that jersey is just too beautiful to play badly in.
I also think that in terms of other teams and just what I've seen for their third and or alternate or special jerseys,
Yeah.
usually the second year they do it, like they'll bring it back. Everyone's like, no, it's terrible. They'll introduce a new one or they'll bring it back again. They usually do better. But in terms of the Kraken, I think they've gotten all their, I don't want to say bad, but they're not great games in special jerseys out of the way.
Let's hope so. I mean,
Like, I
honestly,
feel like this is just
only
too good of a jersey
it's so sick.
to waste with a really bad loss. And even if it's a loss, I feel like a good game is a good game, a close game. I hate seeing overtime, but God, maybe even overtime.
Overtime win.
Overtime win.
Got to get the
Please.
win. Well, only time will tell here. I mean, Eberly here, this is so sick. Even the
This
helmets, they're
picture.
gonna go head to toe black, with even the tint on the visor, which I think is so sick. So I'm curious how the athletes though, with either their stick tape or like their
I
skates, are
would
they
love
gonna
to
go
see
all out?
some glow sticks in the stands,
Ooh,
some
yes,
glow in the dark
yes.
tape on sticks and on their socks. And you know
Oh,
what? Find some glow in the dark laces for those skates. Like, let's
I
go
love
all out.
this. I'm all about the glow sticks. We might have to see if we can get to one of these games, Joe, and have a
Absolutely,
field trip
because
because, like, this
there's no
is
way we're missing a glow in the dark hockey game.
a reason to, as an adult or just at any age, at any time,
Not
utilize glow
missing it.
sticks. Yeah, I'm down. I'm
Needs to
down.
happen.
Needs to happen. All right. Well,
And
thank
I think just while we're on this, if we're at the glow in the dark game and they win, and they will, I think they should give us special access to some kind of something.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
brainstorm that. But
let's
yeah,
go, Kraken. Who says no? Locked on Kraken's taking it on the road. If you start winning in these jerseys and we're in the stands, I think we know
like we know the recipe. We're there.
we gotta do it.
We're available.
But in that case, we'd have to be like we wouldn't be able to be in press row wearing these, so we'd have to,
Mm.
like, make sure we catch up with the Seattle Sports Commission or, like, Black Girl Hockey Club or some other
It
folks,
would have to be a
and
whole thing. There's no
yeah,
way we
we'd have
wouldn't
to, like, make
go
this an
all out.
outing. So, all right, stay tuned, Seattle Kraken fans. We might have to figure out a way to make this happen. But Joe, officially welcome. I know I've talked about you on the show before, but thank you for your help behind the scenes and for all of the planning that we have, and for joining us here today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited to be on More Shores shows upcoming, and well, I'm excited to see you in Seattle in a few weeks.
That's right. We've got some really fun stuff planned, so stay tuned for that. On tomorrow's episode of Locked on Kraken, Joe and I, we've already put in our dates. We have the times now officially, or yes, officially, but also subject to change. The Seattle
Yes.
Kraken released the times that they will be hitting the ice for rookie camp and for training camp. That was all sent out to fans and the media yesterday. But we also have the training camp rosters for rookie camp and then big boy camp. So we're going to break that down on tomorrow's episode of Locked on Kraken. A reminder to be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. We hold fast, we stay true, and loud and proud we say, let's go Kraken. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out, everybody.